Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. On my lips like I used to. Ooh. What the? What's up, horror fam? Steven, A.K.A. Bojangles here, and come closer, my friends. I have something scary to show you. Okay, so after receiving an unsolicited package at my door, I've been inspired to go over 10 rules to survive Halloween. According to horror movies. Is that better? We cool now? Dang, these spirits are touchy around Halloween. Alright, let's check out our first rule. Number 1, leave the pumpkin lit until midnight. Trick or Treat taught us if you want to survive Halloween night, you better leave the pumpkin lit at least until midnight.
You're supposed to keep it lit.
Why?
Ancient tradition?
Henry, it's Halloween, not Hanukkah. Baby, I'm lit, and you're lit.
Honey,
Your little friend here, this night's over.
Yep, you hear that little gasp? Sam is pissed, and we know what happens to this chick. As a matter of fact... Oh shit, be right back. I hope electric pumpkins count. Number 2, don't dress as an active serial killer. Poor Laurie Strode never got to know the love that Ben Tramer could have offered her, because on Halloween night, good old Benny decided to walk the streets dressed up in the same costume as Michael Myers. Now granted, Dr. Loomis jumped the gun, so to speak, but that isn't helping Ben out any, now is it? As a matter of fact, he and Myers even suffered the same fate. Well, one is like well done, and one is probably more like medium well, but you get the gist of it. So, take it from Halloween 2 and don't dress as an active serial killer. I think I'm pretty good on that one. Number 3, always check your candy. We've been hearing it for years, my friends, but you always have to check your candy. Remember the kid in Halloween 2 who bit into the razor blade that was inside of an apple because of assholes like this guy?
Damn rotten kids. They'll get what they deserve. Yes. They'll get what they deserve. Tonight.
So, take advice from movies like Halloween 2, Night of the Demons, and Trick or Treat. After all, you don't want to end up like that bad Santa kid who ended up puking his guts out in Trick or Treat, do you? Always check your candy. Well, hey, I checked this. Number 4, don't go to any parties. A lot of people use Halloween as an excuse to get wasted. Hey, whatever floats your boat. But you do best to stay at home and keep that booty off the dance floor. Parties are like a breeding ground for horror movie sins, with things like sex, drugs, and alcohol.
All right, dudes and dudesses, let's party!
Plus, the temptation is just way too high for people to pull pranks on each other, hold a seance, drink Four Loko, etc. The risk is just way too high. Hey, what? I'm at home. Number 5, never tell any local legends. It's Halloween, and well, I'll just let him say it.
I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare, huh?
Still, you may want to hold off on telling any local legends to your friends. Every time this happens in a horror movie, shit goes down. Plus, just speaking someone's name aloud could be enough to warrant a return from the dead. Don't do it.
Oh, Richie, now you've done it.
Number 6, don't be an asshole. This one should just be general life advice, but you especially don't want to be an asshole on Halloween night. Remember the kid in Trick or Treat who went up and down the street smashing pumpkins? Dead. Remember the old man in Night of the Demons who wanted to put razor blades in apples? Dead. Remember Clyde's mean ass in Pet Sematary 2? Dead. Plus, you may upset the wrong person and they could give you a trick rather than a treat. Which brings me to the next rule. Number 7, don't pull any pranks. I know, the word trick is built right into trick or treat, so you may be tempted to pull a prank or two during the holiday, but you better think twice. What happens every time someone decides to pull a prank on somebody in a horror movie? Dead. This is especially true for those serial pranksters who can't help but pull pranks on everyone all night long. Don't be that guy.
Boo! I wish I had a camera. You look like you dropped the load, Junior.
Or you may just end up being this guy. Wait a minute, didn't I try that earlier? Well, no one was there, so it shouldn't count, right? I mean, no victim, no crime? Or maybe I'm the victim. Oh shit! Number 8, don't go trick-or-treating at abandoned places. Even, especially, if the lights are on. Look, I know it's tempting to get loaded up on as much candy as possible while out trick-or-treating, but some places you're just going to want to skip. If the place looks abandoned, skip it. I don't care how many of your friends dare you to go up to it.
Go in!
Follow the advice of Dr. Loomis and...
Hey, Lonnie, get your ass away from there.
Number 9, give out candy. Ignoring trick-or-treaters just isn't going to cut it. If you're not out trick-or-treating yourself, you better make sure you're giving out candy to everyone that comes to your door.
Didn't you get one?
As a matter of fact, hold on a second. Number 10, no sexy costumes. Man, do I really have to do this one? Okay, fine. Alright, ladies, look. It's going to be tempting to bust out those sexy costumes. God, it looks so good. But hey, you have to watch yourselves, because the hot ones always get it in horror films. Damn those jealous undead spirits. And guys, you have to watch yourselves too. I know it's going to be tempting to go after the ones in sexy costumes. So tempting.
But we don't have any dates.
But hey, you have to resist temptation, especially if the chick's out of your league.
This dude is a fat pig.
Maybe I'm in the mood for pork tonight.
You never know when the chick could turn out to be a demon, werewolf, vampire, or any other creature of the night. Alright, that's it. What this time, like... What is going on out there, horror fam? Are you ready, baby? Because we, tonight, are going to be taking a look at the Exorcist franchise, and we're going to look at why this could very well possibly be the worst damn franchise in horror movie history. I'm going to be going over this with Anna, the Destroyer, the Eater, the Annihilator of Worlds. Anna the Exorcist is going to be joining me. What's going on, Anna the Exorcist?
Hi.
Hi.
What's going on, everybody?
Oh my God, yes. And everybody, as you can see, I'm not doing too well. Damn it.
Yeah.
Neither of us are. I have a cold sore that's annihilating my entire face. It's eating it away. I look like I'm in cabin fever. And yeah, we've been a little bit sick. Sick.
We're under the weather.
Under the weather. Yeah, that's a nice way to put it. That's a PG way to put it.
We just want to go to bed.
Yeah, we really do. We really do.
And not in the fun way either. Just like to sleep.
No. we just want to go away and die forever. But yeah, so we're going to be looking at the Exorcist franchise. We've been watching them all this week. As you know, the first one is my favorite, yada, yada, yada. But there are some stinkers within this franchise.
For the original Exorcist.
Yeah, what y'all think of them apples, baby? Who we got in here tonight, though? That's what I want to see. We have Chad Edmonds in here, raising hell already, saying that he actually liked the Exorcist II. Chad, you can kiss my ass, just and I wouldn't kiss any body part of me right now. So, how do you feel about those apples, brother? Nate Blanche is in here. He's so stoked to be in here. Look at that. Yay! I'm going to get cyberbullied by a 12-year-old. I can't wait for that. That's going to be so fun tonight. This will be so badass. I just, what's up, Brian Perry? What's going on, brother man? And Chad Edmonds, he raises a hair-raising question here. He's like, I thought the worst franchise ever was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You may be right. We're going to get into that discussion here in just a little bit. JK in here.
He only thinks it's the worst Francis. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's the worst Francis. Excuse me, Chad. It's the worst Francis.
We can all agree.
We can all agree on that. So, man, like, yo, I am LMNOP. What's going on, brother man? Random Geek, what's up? Looking cool as ever.
We've got DOD. We've got Dr. Briggs. We've got...
Damn, Dr. Briggs is in here.
I know, JK.
What? We're not used to that kind of treatment. Holy shit, he's paying attention to us.
I know. And when I first hopped in, Grassman was here. I don't know if he's still here, but he was here 15 minutes ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And Necro was here for a minute.
Necro was here. What? I can't believe that shit. Can't believe it.
Oh, I know.
Oh no, Chad, I'm not pretending, bro. You can see it on my face. I'm wearing it, man. I am not well right now. And here's the thing, too. Here's the thing about that, man. It's actually made me freaking hotter. That's the shitty thing. Like,
yeah.
I shouldn't have been hot the other day, and I broke out into a damn sweat. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. You poor thing.
Oh, man. Martin Alexander coming in. What's up, brother, man? He says, I enjoyed the Heretic one, but I was on edibles. I don't know if it was the edibles or I actually found it interesting and trippy. Oh, my God, dude. It was just the edibles.
Dude, it was definitely the drugs. Like,
it was the drugs, bro. Definitely just the drugs.
Yeah.
So, before we get into talking about the Exorcist franchise as a whole, and we're going to rank them. It's going to be super easy, super easy, I believe.
Oh yeah. This is not going to be a problem.
Yeah, this is super easy, my friends.
There's not a lot of like arguing that's going to go on here.
No, not a lot at all. And we'll make some camera adjustments here. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. So, Harry stuff has been going on. And for those of you that aren't aware of Harry is our ghost that haunts this house. And this is a confirmed thing. This place is definitely haunted. It's like a damn
Super
Motionless in White song. Look. So here's the deal. Like 3 nights ago, we were down here in the bedroom and we were just sitting on the bed. Like, we weren't even in the bed. We were just like sitting on the edge of the bed having a discussion. I don't know exactly what we were talking about at the time, but all of a sudden, the lights on the back of our television came on.
Yeah, we have LEDs around the back of our television.
We have an LED strip around the back of our television for some ambient lighting, and they're plugged into a USB port. And when the television is turned on, those lights come on. Our TV was not on at all.
No.
And those lights came on and just lit
All
up the wall behind the television. All by themselves.
And they only get power from the TV. They're not plugged into their own power source.
No,
they're plugged into the TV.
Yeah, the television is the USB light strip's power source.
Yeah.
When that comes on, when the television comes on, those lights come on along with it. They came on and the fucking TV wasn't on.
Yeah. All by themselves.
While we're sitting there. So I then, and this has never happened. This has never happened. This place is totally freaking haunted, man. So I turned the television on and it comes on, and then I turn it off, and then the LEDs went out. But yeah, total creepiness factor while we're watching The Exorcist, while we're going through this franchise. Total creepy things are happening in the house, man. And not only that, but we are sound asleep. I made a community post about this. For those of you who have read that community post, here's what happened. So we are dead to the world.
Yeah.
Dead to the world. And it's 3:46 a.m., I believe, at the time. 3:43 a.m. I can't remember. All of a sudden, our damn robot vacuum turns on and starts making noises and starts.
Oh, it took off. It started vacuuming.
It took off. It started to vacuum the room at 3:40 something in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
While we're asleep, like I don't have it set up on any kind of schedule whatsoever. And this thing took off and started trying to clean the room, and it was making noises and stuff.
Oh yeah. And we don't have it set up on a program. It's only operated from your phone, right?
Yeah, it's operated from your phone. That is it. We were asleep. I was not on the damn phone, and it went crazy. Started vacuuming the room, making noises. It does its little jingle when it turns on. It was
it's so loud. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gave me a heart attack. And that's pitch black in the room, so I couldn't find how to turn it off. So I'm on the floor pushing buttons.
Yeah, we both just jumped straight up from a dead sleep. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was nuts.
Yeah. And it's never happened before, and we've had that thing for years.
Yeah,
right?
we've had that thing 2 or 3 years.
2.5 years. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was wild.
And all of a sudden, it just goes nuts.
Oh my gosh, here's John Heckman in the chat. Do you hear us, dude? Do you hear what's been going on since you guys left?
John Heckman, what is going on, man? Hell yeah, welcome to the chat. So yeah, this place is totally haunted.
Yeah.
Let's see what comments we have here. Let's see, man. Chad says it wasn't a ghost. It was him all along. I knew it. In a saw twist, it was Chad. Damn it, Chad.
He came in to vacuum our room.
Martin Alexander says, though, I know how y'all felt. I have had lights turned on and off by themselves, and it has scared me every time, but I love it.
Yeah.
Dude, so after it happened, Martin, I'm laying in bed, and we've talked about it before, because the ghost that haunts this place, we do not believe is a malevolent spirit. We believe he's cool. No. We believe he's cool.
Yeah.
And I just laid there the whole time, and I was like, what's going on in the world that I need to be up at 3:40? Why did this spirit wake me up right now? So I'm checking my phone because I have it on Do Not Disturb and everything. And I'm like, what's going on? Nothing happened. Thank God everybody was safe. I had no notifications.
Yeah,
it just
neither
wanted
did I.
us awake.
Yeah, just messing with us.
It just...
I kind of agree with the conclusion you came to the day after that happened. So
what's that?
Harry gets active when there are disruptions in the home. And so last time, we had Stephen and I moved in, and immediately after, my little brother and his family came to visit, and Harry went nuts. There was activity for weeks after that. And then everything settled down. We got settled in. He got used to us. My brother and his family went home. Everything quieted down. And we've had like nothing. For what would you say? At least like 2 or 3 weeks, like nothing.
Yeah, I was finally getting some sleep again. I was feeling better, and now I'm sick. Yeah. You're sick, and things have been changing in the house, and Harry is back. Harry's back.
Yeah, some of our household members are out of town, and Harry doesn't like it. Or I think does, so. And it's like this is his version of like being a partying teenager. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, JP's getting in on it too, just like old Martin Alexander. He says, I had an animatronic rat that would go off every day at 1:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Dude, stuff like that sucks.
Yeah.
Stuff like that sucks. And JK wants to know, is it possible that the robot vacuum may have caught a signal from another nearby phone? I've never had it happen before, man, in the 2.5 years. And like, people go to sleep out here. So I'm in California now. In West Virginia, people could stay up until 3 or 4 in the morning, and you can party, you can whatever the hell you want to do. Out here, you may as well go to bed as soon as it's sundown because there's noise ordinances out here. Like as soon as it hits 10 p.m. out here, I don't care if you walk outside and fart in the wind, brother, somebody's calling the cops. so you may as well hit the damn sack, dude. Like surround sound getting turned down.
These things make a lot of noise. I can't imagine somebody else vacuuming their house at 3 o'clock in the morning with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. I'm just saying, if it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon and it took off on its own, like that would be such a great theory. Like I'd be like, somebody else was trying to vacuum their house and they vacuumed ours instead. But I can't imagine somebody else trying to vacuum their house at 3.
People out here go to bed at like 10, dude. Like There's
we're amongst
no way,
the working folk here,
we're amongst we're amongst the senior citizens. It's like they're in bed by 6, bro.
Right. Random Geek is asking if this is, so what the lore is. So we live in a haunted house. It just is what it is.
We live in a haunted house.
The
Harry
name
is
Harry.
The name. Yeah, the Harry is the name of the ghost. Chad, we were just joking with him earlier. But Harry is totally the name of the ghost that haunts this house. We've shared our experiences with him on past podcasts. Very interesting stuff. I highly suggest checking out our back catalog, man. Martin says light white candles or blue ones to help the energy chill. Harry doesn't do well with change, it seems. He definitely does not do well with change at all, brother.
I will do that. I don't have any white ones currently to light, but I do have a pink one. So
you do have a pink one. And I light a candle every day.
Good pink energy.
Yeah, and I light a candle every day while I'm down here working, but I don't know if and Harry's chill while that's going. It could be because he likes the pumpkin spice candle I selected.
Maybe he does.
Yeah, maybe he does. Maybe he does.
I mean, we are entering spooky season, so
yeah, we got to watch ourselves before we wreck ourselves.
Yeah.
All right, so tonight's donation goal is to go on a rant about Exorcist Believer. As you can see, it's a $50 goal. I promise I will not let any of you down. So don't worry. Don't worry, damn it. Chad at 25 from Chad Edmonds already. Holy crap-a-rooskies. Can you believe... Was anybody surprised? Come on. Nobody can beat Chad. Nobody beats Chad. Nobody beats Chad.
He's gonna take over that your ranking like any day now, right? Like he's got to be so close now, right?
Yeah,
like he's got to be so close.
He's got to be close to being king of the hill, and not only that, but when I started the stream, Chad Edmonds was stream boss. He was uncontested, and he just does it again. Nobody can beat Chad. I'm sorry, guys, it's not going to happen. Chad's like the most consecutive stream boss ever. John's asking what's up with the senior citizen bullshit. Facts. But in addition to that,
you did comment this morning when we got back from our walk that like we must live in just a small pocket, just like the couple of houses surrounding us are like elderly folk, because we're the only people that decorated for Halloween within our little like pocket of the neighborhood. And that is kind of true. Like the couple of houses across the street from us and down. Yes, it's all.
Yeah, like all the blocks surrounding us, like there are some awesome Halloween decorations. I mean, some people went all out. Yeah, and then on our block, there is nothing. And I'm like, holy shit, it's just us.
We're it.
We're it. And I have a feeling if some of us didn't push for that, it would have never happened. Yep.
I have faith in Patty. She'd have gotten it out, but
John Heckman is still the all-time top tipper. Damn, that's surprising. And Chad is saying this is all he can do tonight is the $25 of Rooskies. So if anybody wants to see that Exorcist believer rant, you better believe your ass needs to send me $25 more before that will go down, because that spikes my blood pressure, spikes my insulin, everything you can imagine when I get to talking about old Jason Blum.
Random geek.
Random geek saying, take my money, baby. That's the kind of attitude I like to see in here, damn it. Hell yeah, thank you, Random. You're total stud, dude. What a beast. All right.
All right, J-Dub is excited for our topic.
J-Dub, we're going to get into it, brother. We're going to get into it.
Are we ready?
We'll give Random Geek his little dancy Michael Myers there.
A little shimmy.
Does he get it through the super chat? Hell yeah.
Awesome.
So, yes. So for anybody who does donate, please do it through the link that pops up in the chat. This one right here. That one YouTube does not take a cut out of. And when you donate through YouTube, trust me, they take a very significant cut. Thank you so much, sir. And that Chad brings up an interesting point. That could have got you a channel membership, dude, and then you could have unleashed some super kick-ass smileys. Let's see those smileys in the chat, man. Come on. Show true. Random Geek what that 5 could get him, bro. All right. So here we go, man. Yeah, random smiley. So look, we are going to talk about the Exorcist franchise and why it may very well be the worst damn franchise in horror. So here's what we got. Here's my tier ranking. As you can see, greatest film of all time is right here at the top. That's your S tier, and then your A, B, C, D, and F. Okay? And let me tell you something. This is going to be an easy one. So there's only 5 movies in the franchise. So this is going to be pretty simple too, because there's no question as to which movies are bad and which ones are good. So I'm going to make this super easy. And I'm not considering the 9th configuration. I don't know who made this list, but that's just stupid. So here we go. The Exorcist, the original 1973 film, is without a doubt the greatest film of all time. Now, initially, I had this titled the greatest horror movie of all time right up here, but it's not. It is the greatest film of all time, without a doubt. And I see that there's a lot of people in here who has not seen the original Exorcist. Well, let me tell you something. It follows the story that's mind-blowing number one. Like, you call yourself a horror fan, you need to get your ass and put it on the couch and watch The Exorcist right now. Don't mess around. Don't joke around. Don't roll your eyes and say, oh man, it's an old movie. It's dated. It's none of that. It's fucking awesome. Okay? Greatest film of all time. So it follows the story of a mother and daughter, and the daughter is possessed by a demon. And they're not even religious people. So the mother, takes the kid to the doctor, to the hospital, to psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever. Gets absolutely no help. And then has to seek out the aid of a priest to help exorcise this demon from her daughter's body. And it could be argued, actually, because this movie, let me tell you something, this movie is so great at what it does. There are no wasted characters in this movie at all. Every character you're introduced to serves a purpose, period. So you could even argue that The Exorcist is technically Damien Karras's story. Now, Damien Karras is the priest whom has lost his faith.
I mean, to be fair, it's not called The Possession or The Possessed. It's called The Exorcist. So
it is.
Yeah, I would agree. Absolutely. I would say absolutely the film is actually about Damien Karras.
Absolutely. You could say that. Or you could even go as far to say it's a film about Father Merrin. Because he's also the exorcist. He's like the head exorcist. He's done this before. He's the only one that has experience in this shit.
Right. He's the church-appointed exorcist.
He is the church-appointed exorcist, and Father Karras is sent to assist with the exorcism. And like I said, Father Karras, there's another plot point there. He's a priest who has lost his faith. And he better find that shit to take on this battle.
Real quick,
because a little girl's life depends on it.
Yeah.
So, and every character, there's not a wasted character whatsoever. Father Dyer is excellent. Reagan's mom, Chris McNeil, is excellent. The cop, Kinderman, is excellent. I mean,
I love the original Kinderman. Yes,
I mean, goodness gracious, man. Everybody in this movie serves a purpose. And the one thing Hollywood... Burke Dennings is great. But let me tell you something, man. One thing Hollywood, that this movie can never be freaking remade. It can never be touched. Hollywood cannot get none of the things I've just mentioned right anymore, but especially demon dialogue. Demon dialogue in new movies is so fucking cheesy. So cheesy. But in The Exorcist, it is the most blasphemous, insane stuff you've ever heard. But it's not only that. All of the dialogue is a knife that cuts somebody that comes from that demon.
Well, I think that's the point, right? Like, it's not, none of the dialogue is written for, well, I won't say none. There are a couple of pieces of dialogue that are clearly written for shock value, but the vast majority of what the demon says is extremely purposeful. And I think that's what gets left out a lot in like more recent films about possession. Like it's the whole purpose of the dialogue for the demon is shock value. Well, I'm going to say something shocking. And it's like, well, what's the purpose of what you just said? Like what? Yeah. So anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Because these demons are just saying generic lines that you could put literally, I mean, they're like, new demons are like the Betty White of horror. Like, they're just going to say something shocking that's only shocking because it came out of an old lady's mouth. That's it.
I love Betty White.
I love Betty White too, but it's the truth. Like, she became that and then set a whole trend around that. Like, it became a thing, like, well, now old people are going to say funny shit, and then it went to kids and everything like that. But with these demons, it's like, they're not just talking shit like a lot of demons, man. These demons get personal on your ass.
Mhm.
Like, they use the demons in the demon in the Exorcist uses psychological warfare. Okay, it's not just like I'm bad to the bone like Terminator 2, baby. It's some cruel shit they get in on Damien Karras and Father Merrin. I mean,
yeah, I mean, it searches inside you for what's going to shake your faith the most. It searches for any of your weaknesses, what you feel the most guilty about, things like that, right?
Yeah. Well, and yeah, it's that, and now if you see, because, okay, well, let me tackle this here. So IMLMNOP says it's only shocking because it comes out of a young girl's mouth. That is totally untrue. Totally untrue. And if you watch the movie and pay attention, you'll learn. See, check this out.
Oh, maybe he's saying though, because what he was just agreeing with maybe newer horror films as opposed to
maybe,
The
yeah,
Exorcist.
there you go, or maybe, but check this out. If you notice, the demon, when it communicates with Father Merrin, is a little more general in its approach. Like, it doesn't attack Merrin directly, specifically. It saves that for Damien, and
it knows it can.
It knows it can.
It knows
Exactly.
it can.
It knows Father Merrin's not going to fall for that shit.
Yeah, it doesn't even try. It doesn't even try. It goes right for the weak point, which is Karras.
Yes.
Right? Like, it skips Merrin entirely and is like, basically looks at Merrin and says, you are the weakest link. Like, it knows that he is. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, yes. And I got to get in on this, JK, just because I read this comment, and I can't read this comment without doing it. Do you know what she did, your cunting daughter?
Well, see, and that's something that's used really well in the film is the voices of other people. Like, so instead of just doing the growly demonic voice thing, when the demon wants to really freak you out, it speaks in the voice of typically a dead person, right? So it's speaking, when it says that line, it's speaking in the voice of Burke.
Yes.
Yeah. And it does the same thing to Karras later and speaks in his mother's voice, So.
And there you go. Martin says Father Merrin's faith was too strong for Pazuzu. It is true, man. The only weakness Merrin had was, sadly, his overall health at that point.
He's so old, right? Like, is the understanding. He's been through so much.
Yes. He's so old.
He's physically
and
weak.
It's, oh my God, such a great, giving me chills just talking about it. And this is one, JP, I use all the time. Dimmy, why you did it to me, Dimmy? It's so
he
great.
He does that all the time.
All the time. And Briggs says the characters aren't all victims to add to the body count. They each have varying levels of grounding. Yes. And I mean, back to the characters. I mean, even at the party scene, you're introduced to tons of new characters, and they all serve a damn purpose. I mean, you have the astronaut who's talking, and Reagan comes in and fucks with him. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna die up there. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. So to me, The Exorcist, without a doubt, is the greatest film of all time. I can say that. There is nothing that can beat that for me. And it just so happens that's what we're ranking tonight. So, hey, it gets this honor.
Yay.
But, oh my God, are you ready, Anna the Exorcist, for...
I'm ready.
The next entry in the franchise.
Yeah.
Which is Exorcist II, The Heretic. Can you guess where...
It's a pile of shit.
It's a whopping... No.
It's a whopping...
No.
Yeah.
It is a whopping pile of shit.
Pile of shit.
The Exorcist II, The Heretic, is absolutely a whopping pile of shit.
Yes.
And now this movie was directed by God, what was his name? John Borman. John Borman directed this film. And he was not even a fan of the original, so I don't know how the hell he got this job. But it shows. It absolutely shows that he was not a fan of the original.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because there is nothing about this movie that's worth anything. Like, this movie is dog shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
can you even, like...
Well, and it's
can you
interesting
even
because...
describe what the plot's about? Do you even want to try it?
No. You can't make me. I don't have to. No. Like, it's... You know, after we watched the 2 versions of the prequels, I finally told you, I think that the problem that the Exorcist franchise ran into, and this part 2 kind of epitomizes it, is they're complicated for the sake of being complicated. Not complicated because not complicated because the story deserves it, right? Because you could say that there are certain stories, whether they're films, novels, etc., that are complicated because they deserve it. Like, you've got your world building, and there's this rich, vast, unexplained, unknowable stuff that you need to explain, and so the films are huge and complicated. That's not the case with The Exorcist. In the Exorcist films, 1, they all take place on planet Earth, and 2, it's what works about the original so well is how grounded in reality it is. How you mentioned Ellen Bernstein's character Chris, the mother, like, so grounded in reality. You watch her heartbreak as she deals with what's happening to her child. And the same thing with Damien Karras. The things he's going through in his real life are very real, very relatable. It's what makes it so scary, right? Because these are people just living your everyday, average, like, lives that are totally recognizable, and they have things that happen to them that you can't explain, other than to say there's something spiritual going on, right? And then you step into the second film, and you might as well have added aliens. Like, that's how bizarre it is.
The Exorcist II is the most... Now, number one, The Exorcist II is one of the worst movies I've ever seen, if not the worst, because it is so nonsensical. But not only that, it is absolutely the most fucking disappointing movie I've ever seen. Absolutely. When you go from the greatest movie ever made in The Exorcist to The Exorcist II, The Heretic, motherfucker, that is it's undescribable.
And there's just, and it's like, and the ties back to, like, they did I feel like they worked really hard, or not worked really hard. It all came together very simply, right? But they give this tie of Father Merrin at the beginning of the original film on this archaeological dig, you know what I mean? They kind of, but they tie it all in. Like, it's one specific demon he's been chasing, hunting, dealing with, right? Like, his whole life, right? Like, it's him and this demon. And the second film, like, attempts to do something similar, but in this, like, very grandiose, bizarre way where you get like entire characters and I can't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, in this one, folks, I mean,
James
you
Earl
have
Jones.
you have James Earl Jones, fucking locusts, horrible locust CGI shit flying everywhere. Reagan is wearing a machine and she has telepathic powers, and she gets repossessed, and she now has a caretaker, which is Sharon from the original film. And you know, it's JK must be celebrating his channel membership. He is 1 month away from 3 years. Hell yeah, JK. Look at that, baby. Look at that. Hell yeah, brother, man. Thank you and congratulations, dude. It's crazy that it's been that long. I hope this Halloween season and the content I'm putting out, man, makes you proud to be a member, dude.
Yeah. I hope so too. Wait.
But
yeah, I think, you know, and it's, I think, you know, like a lot of people might mistake us for not enjoying symbolism or metaphor or, you know, anything. And that's not true at all. But I think when kind of like artistic symbolism eclipses your storytelling, you've failed. Right? Like, I think, you know, symbolism and things like that should enhance your storytelling. It should never eclipse it. Like, I just watched a painting. Like, you don't watch a painting. You watch a story, right? Like, so anyways, like that's.
So now we do have one part. Well, we have a couple who are kind of defending the heretic. And I would love to know why you liked it. I mean, I know, one person was on drugs, was on edibles.
You know, I have a feeling that I would like it a lot more
Martin.
if I were, you know, on a lot of drugs too. I think that would help.
Chad, but Chad, you know, I want to know why you like it so much. And Samuel Stokes is coming in late to the party, but I'm so glad you're here, brother Jack, dude. Welcome to the stream tonight. We are ranking the Exorcist films, as you can see. The original Exorcist is the greatest film of all time. There's absolutely no getting around it. And The Exorcist II, The Heretic, is the worst film of all time. There's no getting around that. But I want to know, Samuel, he answered my question. He said Saw X was bloody good. Awesome. Oh my God. Now I want to go see it so bad. I want to anyway. I've seen all the Saw films in theaters. I must see that one. Must see it. It is a must do. So Chad says he thoroughly enjoyed the backstory of Pazuzu.
I don't think they really gave you one. Like, I think they gave like a particular person's backstory involving Pazuzu. I don't think they gave you Pazuzu's backstory, if that makes sense. So
and Pazuzu is it's like the king of the wind demons, and it's like there's really nothing about that in The Exorcist II. I mean, that movie was so damn nonsensical, though. But
well, they did a lot with the locusts.
With the locusts,
trying to show
they did the whole.
Yeah, so they definitely did. They relied heavily on the like famine aspect of you know, and I'd have to do maybe more research on Pazuzu to say, like, just because he was the king of the wind demons, like, did, you know, they're definitely clearly stating in the films that, you know, famine and pestilence like followed in his wake.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and they definitely, with, you know, relying so heavily on the locusts, they're pushing hard on the famine, because that's what locusts cause, is famine. So yeah.
I don't know though. I hate The Exorcist II. I think it's such a huge step down. Possibly the worst movie ever made.
Yeah.
So now we get into The Exorcist III. And this one puts us back on track a little bit. In a weird way, I don't want to say that. The Exorcist III totally disregards The Exorcist II. And instead follows the story of the detective from the original Kinderman, and in this film he is investigating a string of new murders that are religious based murders, and they bring back Father Dyer from the original, and they kill him, and it's just basically this. The demon is terrorizing Kinderman. Is basically the story of The Exorcist III, and he's doing it in a way that sort of taunts him by killing his friends and messing with his family, and also religiously, and in a way that mimics a serial killer that had been executed years prior. It is a really weird movie. That's why I'm having a hard time explaining what the movie is about. Because they also bring back Damien Karras, and it turns out like this serial killer, when he was executed, kind of transferred his soul into the body of Damien Karras at the same time his soul was disincorporated, or his body was disincorporated. Like, how do you...
Well, it's interesting because that's kind of, they start to lead you to believe that, and then Damien shows back up in his own body, so that's not true. So so you have both Damien and I'm trying to remember the name of the serial killer, but Brad Dourif works. So you have his soul also in the body at the same time. And I guess like this is kind of a great opportunity for me to explain to any audience members who don't know why I might be as hard on these films as I'm coming across. So I'm a traditionally trained and educated Catholic theologian. For those of you who don't know, I think that's what my background is. So these hard shows, as you can imagine, like this type of film would be difficult for me to see objectively anyways. But it's also what makes me so happy to say the original Exorcist is so good. Like even the theology they got right, like superbly right, like so well done. And so when the second takes
okay, and we're having audio issues, and
check. It must be an issue, right? Did it just start?
I can't hear her at all now. Can anybody hear her at all?
Hello. Can you hear me? Hello.
Let me make sure.
And it echoes. Weird. Should I turn it off? Back on. Hello. Should I leave the studio and come back?
Yeah, I can't even hear her at all now. So. Okay, so we have lost Anna. Let me check our settings here and make sure. Okay. Yeah, I have no clue what happened with her. She is going to rejoin and see if we can't get this figured out. I don't know. I'm with you, Martin. Definitely some sort of interference here. Let's bring her back. Okay, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me? Is that better? Can you not hear me?
No, you're staticking again.
Okay, I know. Hold on.
Okay. Okay. Let's
Can
see.
you hear me
While
now?
she...
Hello, hello.
I can hear you now.
Is that better?
That is better. No more cracklies.
Oh, JP says still crackly, but was that before or after I switched to my dongle?
That was before you switched.
Before the dongle?
Yes.
Okay, are we better now?
Yes. You're better.
Right.
Better 1, better 2, better 3, better 4, all better.
All right, we'll just use the dongle.
Yeah. So the Exorcist III. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the point I was trying to get to is, so in part 3, when the whole thing kind of relies on a human soul possessing another human, you completely lose me. Like, it is the worst theology. Like, absolutely, the Catholic Church, this is all based on, right? It's all based on Catholic theology or Catholic mythos or however you want to put it. That's where the series started, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, we absolutely don't believe that a human soul can possess another human body. Period. So, like, you've already lost me. It's just like, oh God, like cringy, so bad.
Well, the thing is,
and then there's
in addition, I mean, you're looking at it from a technical aspect right now. You're looking at the storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at the storytelling. You're looking at the theology and all this stuff, and acting as if this fucking movie has anything going for it.
Well, the sad thing is,
you know what?
Like, it started okay for me. Like, I was really enjoying kind of the relationship between Kinderman and Father Dyer. And then it's like, as soon as Father Dyer dies, you lose the only real positive thing about the movie for me.
Well, so that's what I was going to say. So this movie, at first, I liked it. Like, I remembered liking The Exorcist III. It seemed like, granted, I haven't seen it much at all. And then when we rewatched it, I was like, holy shit, this isn't a good movie. And there's reasons for that. Like, you can get into the theology and you can talk about the story and all that, but at the end of the day, it is so disjointed at a basic level. It is clear that it is so chopped up that, number one, like, it's so chopped up that it takes you out of the movie you're watching. Because there are moments you're like, wait a fucking minute, what was that supposed to entail?
There were
clearly scenes missing.
Right. And you could, like, tell, like, some of the cuts are really hard. They're like hard cuts, and you're just like, wait, there's something, he was right in the middle of something, and then it ended.
Yeah. Like, they're right in the middle of something, and then it ended. And yes, JK says it, but there are creepy parts in it. I will totally agree with that. And those are kind of the parts that I think I latched onto and remember. But the fact is, The Exorcist III is only good decent when you, like, compare it to the second one.
Agreed. Like, I thought, like, it's definitely a better film, or I enjoyed it more, I should say, than the second film. You know, but I thought it was kind of interesting, a little funny that they took The Exorcist and made it a slasher, because that's what they did. Like, the third film is the slasher version of The Exorcist. And I think, like, to me, part of what makes a movie like an S tier, in any genre, whether it's horror or otherwise, is like how much attention to detail the writer and director have given the film. And I think, like, that's part of, it's like, for me, being a stickler to the theology or whatever, like, is less about just saying, oh, that's how it has to be because that's what the Catholic Church thinks, and more about it shows an attention to detail. If you're going to make this about Catholic priests and how they fight demons, then the attention to detail begs to do some of the research that would lend itself to, right? Like, do the research, like get in there and figure that out. And like, that's why when stuff goes off the rails, I'm like, oh man, they just did whatever they wanted instead of like it's like, what would be cool. and it's not that I don't think that there's a time and a place for storytelling that's just what would be cool. There is, like, there's a lot of like really silly fun movies that I love, and that's all that they've got going for them is what would be cool. But when you're making a sequel to a film that has clearly so much attention to detail, that's when it becomes
Nate Blanche sending over the 105. He is now free to torment me a little within reason, Nate. Thank you, brother. But like, okay, so my deal with The Exorcist III, because, Briggs is talking about some of the editing and pacing. So, dude, they would be in scenes in The Exorcist III, and it would cut to a totally different part in the story within the fucking movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, and they're talking about the characters are referencing the scene that was clearly just cut from the film.
Yes, yeah, that's what we noticed. That's what made it hard.
Super, super weird.
But you're right in that there are other elements of like the editing or the pacing that are like really cool. Like there's some really, really great moments, which makes the odd moments or the stuff that got cut like a little so sad, right? Like
yeah. But Briggs says they had to make it different than the first. They tried having the same girl possessed in the same basic way in 2, and you see how well that worked. The slasher angle was effective and dark, but here's the thing. Number one, that's not really what they tried in the second one. Like, they went off the fucking, like, the second one is, you can't compare that to anything. Like, that movie is in its own league, man. But that does bring up an interesting point, Briggs. So the original idea that they wanted for the sequel, for an Exorcist sequel, now, number one, they contacted like Friedkin and Blatty, and they're like, absolutely not, we're not touching it. We're not doing an Exorcist sequel.
Yeah.
The original studio's idea was that they were going to basically pull a Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 or a The Hills Have Eyes 2. And they were going to make The Exorcist 2 be like pretty much the same movie over again, but they were going to use different angles and cut footage that didn't make it in the original and kind of form a sequel out of that. Thank God they didn't do that, brother. But yeah, the slasher angle was dark and different, but you have to tell a story. At the very base level of a film, you have to tell a story, that you have to make it cohesive, and then you have to edit that story together and present it in a way that's entertaining. And they just, Chad with the $25, look at that, baby.
Now you're going to have to do your rant.
Oh my God. I will get to that. I'll get to that after we do our rankings.
Okay. Thank you, Chad.
Thank you so much, Chad. We've hit 100% of our goal on the night. He has reclaimed his position as stream boss. Chad doing it the way we knew he would. He just can't. He just cannot drop the Stream King, baby. So thank you so much, Chad. But you know what? The movie was presented in a bad way. I totally agree with J.K. It's a severe slow burn. Then it's edited poorly. It's written poorly, and then you have characters that disappear on and off throughout the movie. Like, do you remember there being a priest, an exorcist in the movie? Because there was. He gets 2 minutes of screen time.
Oh, and it's heartbreaking. So they went to the trouble to hire Nicole Williams, who I love, to play an exorcist for the third film. And oh man, I was so excited. And he's in a total of a minute, maybe 2 in the film.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is they bring him in the beginning of the film, or towards the beginning-ish of the film, and then you never see him again until the last like 10 minutes of the movie, and they bring him in and kill him immediately.
Yes.
And I can't, to me, it's one of those things where I can't fathom that was the original idea for his character. Again, it was one of those things that made me think, like, were there scenes cut? Did he have scenes cut? Oh, and that was weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so he comes in, he does, 2 seconds of his thing and dies. And then when Kinderman comes in to the scene, sometimes the priest body is there and sometimes it's not. So that's like, again, like an editing
weird.
issue. It's like this disappearing, reappearing body, dead body.
There's yeah, but the thing is, I will say about 3, The Exorcist 3, I'm going to say this and then we're going to rank it and we're going to be done with The Exorcist 3. I can't take it anymore. Is that Brad Dourif's acting. Brad Dourif comes in. I don't give a fuck. George C. Scott's in there. I don't care. Your Exorcist boys in there. Whatever. Brad Dourif comes in and proves that he is on a different level acting wise than absolute Jason Miller. Whatever. Brad Dourif is on a different level than anybody in that movie acting wise, and that's a young Brad Dourif.
It is a young Brad Dourif, and he's incredible. But again, for me, it was one of the problems with the film was not him. But the fact that he was given 2, if not 3, full on monologues like you would see in a stage production. Like,
oh my God,
true monologues where the other character in the room doesn't say a word for more than 5 minutes. Like it just goes.
Yeah.
And the only problem with that is the film is cut to make it look like a conversation is supposed to be happening, so it cuts back and forth between him and Kinderman, and Kinderman never says anything. He just makes faces.
Yeah, he just gives facial reactions to Brad Dourif's excellent acting, but when he's been talking for 10 minutes, it's like, come on, man. So we're going to rank this movie. I'm going to put it at just tap water. That's all it is. I can't. That puts it at a C. That puts it at a C. It's not an F. There's elements to this movie like the iconic nurse with the shears. That's a good scene. I could be talked into putting it down here at pee vomit, honestly. But I could do
just tap water because I don't think it's not like unwatchable. Like, it's a watchable film, and Briggs makes a good point that it made sense for him to monologue, and I would say I would agree, except that except that
dude, I had a mouthful of coffee, you dick.
Except I think it only became like I only realized it was a problem for me when at the end of the movie I thought, there were a lot of story elements that, for such a slow burn film, there were a lot of story elements that got rushed. And it's like they got rushed because it's like certain things got rushed because other things got lingered on for so long that when they got to something they needed for story, they just rushed through it. They were like, well, let's make this happen really fast. And it's like, wait. I just spent 10 minutes listening to Brad Dourif. And now, saying nothing really. Like, I mean, not that they weren't. I mean, he's crying. The performance is beautiful. So it's
beautiful.
I won't take away from that at all. But it is funny when it's like, I spent 10 minutes on this, and now here's an important plot point, and we're gonna do it in less than 2. It's just like, go. Yeah. Wait, what?
So The Exorcist III, just tap water for me. It's about a C on a list from S to F. Come on, man. It could have been better. It could have been I do need, so Briggs keeps bringing this up. I do own the director's cut released by Scream Factory. I
want to see it.
Unfortunately, I didn't bring that to California with me. I could only bring select movies, and those select movies were from like the last box when I found out I was able to bring some, so it wasn't even in there, so it wasn't even an option.
Yeah. So
everything else had already been packed up.
I would love to see the director's cut. I would.
The director's cut, don't get too hyped.
Oh, okay.
Because there was a lot of footage that they couldn't remaster, so they pulled it off of like horrible sources. Like they took some footage out of the trailers.
You know,
stuff
like that doesn't bother me. Like if I know,
and it's not, and it's not hugely different. Okay. But I'll tell you what is another issue is the Exorcist Dominion and the Beginning, which we have right here. So this is Dominion right here, the one where he's kissing the crucifix, and then here is the Beginning with the inverted crucifix. This has a very interesting story. So both of these films are prequels to The Exorcist. Both of them came out at the same time, but only The Beginning was released in theaters. Dominion was made first. So what happened was, like I said, this is a prequel to The Exorcist, and it follows the story of Father Merrin. And as we all know, it's mentioned in the original Exorcist that Merrin had performed an exorcism before. He is familiar with exorcisms as he performed one in Africa on a little boy years prior to the 1973 film. And it damn near killed him. So now we finally get that story in the form of these prequels. So what happened was, like I said, Dominion was made. And, well, actually, let me get to this. Let me get into the story a little bit here of what happened with these movies. So, where is it? Okay, so here, I'm just going to go ahead and read the story for you, because I don't know if you're familiar with the story. I was telling you about it, but I want to make sure I get this accurate. So I'm going to read it to you. I know you'll be interested in this anyway, and maybe the audience too. So here we go. This is a bit lengthy, but here is why there are two prequels to The Exorcist. Producer James G. Robinson first began development on an untitled prequel to The Exorcist in 1997, with the first draft of the screenplay penned by Terminator 2 Judgment Day co-writer William Wisher Jr. In October 1999, Morgan Creek Productions hired Tom McLaughlin, whom directed Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, to helm the film. With a script finally in place, production was slated to occur the following spring in Africa. However, McLaughlin left the production due to issues with the script. Go figure that. In October 2001, numerous publications reported that John Frankenheimer was on board as director with a new screenplay revised by Caleb Carr. Liam Neeson was attached to portray the character of Father Lancaster Merrin. William Peter Blatty was not expected to take part in the production. After a July 2003 release date was slotted, Frankenheimer was forced to step down from the project due to his declining health, and he was replaced by Paul Schrader. Gabriel Mann joined in the cast in April 2002, while shooting was expected to take place in the spring in the United Kingdom and Spain. The following month, the film was officially titled Exorcist: The Beginning, and Stellan Skarsgård and Billy Crawford were added to the cast, the former of which replacing Neeson. Principal photography on Schrader's film began on November 11, 2002 in Morocco, with Vittorio Storaro handling cinematography duties. The crew spent 6 weeks filming in Morocco and then a further 2 months in Rome. By the time filming had wrapped in February 2003, 6 writers had contributed to the screenplay, and the budget had nearly doubled.
Oof.
An early cut of Schrader's film that ran at 130 minutes was shown to the studio in early 2003. The cut was widely derided due to a lack of scares and gore. The studio at first opted to re-edit the film to make it scarier, which Schrader opposed. Additional photography was then planned, which according to Schrader only grew bigger and bigger as time went on. Schrader attested that he faithfully adapted Carr's screenplay on screen and that the studio went through buyer's remorse during production. Later reports indicated that Schrader was first given the option to re-edit the film twice, with neither cut managing to satisfy the studio. Sheldon Kahn was brought in to recut the film without Schrader's involvement. Schrader was livid and reportedly demanded that Kahn leave. By then, the studio met with the other filmmakers to direct new scenes to make the film scarier. Carr was expected for rewrites, but instead the studio opted to fire Schrader and scrap the film entirely in August 2003.
Wow.
Morgan Creek sought for a new director in October. So they had a director for the film, fired his ass after the film had been done, and decided to make a new movie.
Oh my God.
So Rennie Harlan was among the directors who met with Robinson and suggested rewriting the script. Now, horror fans may remember, like, Rennie Harlan never gets to make his own original movies, by the way. He's only brought in for sequels and stuff like that, like he did Die Hard 2 and A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. So he never gets his own shit, and now, of course, he's done The Exorcist the beginning. So he came in and he suggested that they rewrite the script, cast new actors, and add more action. The studio was impressed with Harlan's suggestions, so they hired him. And Harlan quickly began overseeing rewrites by Skip Woods. Alexi Hawley and Harlan himself penned subsequent revisions. Skarsgård was the only cast member retained from the original shoot. In November 2003, special makeup effects artist Gary J. Tunnicliffe confirmed he would be involved with the film. Filming under Harlan's direction began in the winter of 2003 in Rome. 2 weeks into production, his leg was shattered after being struck by a car, resulting in a 2-week hiatus for filming. Harlan shot 6 weeks on crutches. Production concluded after 12 weeks. By June 2004, work was still being done on the film, and it was finished mere days before its official release. After initially being given a $35 million budget under Schrader's direction, the reshoots and post-production work ballooned the film's budget to over $90 million.
Oh my gosh.
So,
dude, that's insane. Like, no one, I mean, it explains so much.
Yeah. So, okay. So for those of you who want, so The Exorcist Dominion was the original film. The studio didn't like it. They shit-canned it, brought in a whole new team, a whole new crew of people, and then you got The Exorcist the beginning. Now, for those of you, and it barely profited at the box office. And these films are, so when you watch Dominion, it has the better story, I think, in ways. And then you watch the beginning, and it totally has more action, more attractive people are in it, I guess, because they wanted to include like a shower scene with the nurse and give Father Marin a love interest.
I've got to work with you on this whole, every time there's a female doctor in a movie, you refer to her as a nurse afterwards.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, yeah. But anyway, that's the least of our problems with this damn movie.
Yeah.
Because they're different movies, but they're very similar. The beginning is, they thought would be more well suited for audiences because it has more action, more gore, more provocative characters and scenes, I guess. But
it definitely like fell prey to its era. Right, like it definitely feels like an early 2000s horror film. Like it's.
And thank you, Martin Alexander, for having my back here, brother. He's like, it's because of the sexy nurse programming they've ran on us as males. You're damn right. You're damn right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Martin. He's got my back, brother.
I don't remember what other movie you did that on the other day, but it was just like on the last stream, I think. So it's just funny.
Yeah. But yeah, so Dominion starts off better. I will say, so let me start by saying this. So Dominion, which was the scrapped prequel, did eventually get released on DVD.
Okay.
The studio, because the film was done, the studio was just like, hey, we're not putting this shit out in theaters. Like, this is trash. But they had a finished film on their hands, so they did release it on DVD, and I did watch it, and I do remember Dominion was actually more well received by critics and fans. Like, people did like Dominion better. They thought it was the better film.
I'm one of them.
And but okay, so they both have pros and cons. Dominion to me started off better, had the better story, by far. But then once it starts getting into the demon, the possession, the demon, the action and stuff like that, I think it totally shit the bed. Like, that demon was totally lame. Some of the stuff they did was just cringeworthy.
Yeah.
But the thing is, both of these movies look like two unfinished films in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the fact that even Dominion, which is the original cut of the film, like, or really the original filming of the film, right? It got entirely new filming. As soon as you said, so many different writers, so many different directors, it's like, oh my God, that explains so much. Because even though I would say, like, Dominion for me is a better film until the last half an hour, because I have the same problems with it you do. But it's an almost 2-hour film, and only the last half an hour is like difficult for me to get through. But like, it starts off like so much stronger, I think, and it's funny because it's a very slow burn, right? There aren't a lot of
very
jump scares. There aren't, but I would thoroughly enjoyed it. I was like, wow, they're really, again, it was like that attention to detail, and they're really like, taking their time to explain what's going on and to do character development and all this kind of stuff. It was great. So I really enjoyed it. And then the last half an hour just kind of went off the rails.
So you actually, you get the better story in Dominion, but the thing, okay, so Briggs asked, does the demon talk in Dominion? Yes. He/she does, and it's horrible. The demon is really bad. Now, one thing I will say you have to remember about Dominion, though, is that it probably didn't get the finishing touches and the finesse, because CGI, of course, is one of the last things they do to a film before releasing it. So when they show CGI parts of the demon, it's god-awful. When they show a CGI snake, that shit looks like the snakes that jump out of like those cans of chips. They show a CGI hyena, but the demon is horrible, man. Like, they give it these glowing red eyes, which are like fucking 1995 Goosebumps TV series level CGI.
Yeah, they did. I mean, instead of just putting contacts in the actor, which is like, come on, that's so lazy. Just put some contacts in the actor. And talking about like the demon in Dominion makes me want to get like kind of the elephant in the room like out of the way, like, because I think the one thing that they did that was really problematic in Dominion was the young man who gets possessed in the film is a disabled person. He's born disabled, and he's a tribesman, and they're in Eastern Africa. And all of the other tribal people in the film are, of course, of African descent. And yet, to make a disabled tribesman, they hired a Filipino actor.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
I'm not gonna dig too deeply into it, but if you know anything about historically how we have categorized medically disabled people, it's super, if you know anything about that, it's super problematic that they wanted to make a disabled person and hired an Asian actor. Like, it's like right off the bat, just like problematic.
They totally
like,
did, but it's weird. It's like, why the fuck is this Filipino dude like walking around with all these Africans and living over there where like he's been an outcast? And
what were they thinking?
And it's
like that's all I can think.
He's like,
what were they thinking? Please, somebody.
Well, and that's another thing. That's another thing you have to remember with Dominion. You do get a different person who's possessed in Dominion versus the person that's possessed in the beginning.
Yeah. So Chad mentioned earlier, if you like spliced the two movies together and made it 3 hours long, you'd have a really cohesive, like, good story. And that's kind of true. I think if they had gone the route they do in Exorcist the beginning, with who they chose to possess, I think you would have. If they had done that in Dominion, I think you would have had a really, really good film. I think it only falls off because they've got this handicapped person that then they make the possessed person, and so it gets even worse. You know, it's like, and. Yeah, it just got really, really strange.
Yeah, it's bad. So Dominion, Dominion, you know, I think I'm going to put Dominion at An Excellent Day for an Exorcism. I think so. That'd be a B. You know, I could argue putting it down here, but I think I'm going to save that for the beginning.
Yeah.
The
I
beginning.
can totally agree with that.
I'm kind of sad that I don't get to put anything in the pee vomit category. So maybe I'll just throw the 9th configuration in there. So
I know, what is the 9th configuration? What is that?
So the 9th configuration is a movie that was written and directed by William Peter Blatty, and a lot of people consider it to be like the hidden sequel to The Exorcist.
Okay.
And I've tried to watch it, and it's so boring and silly. I can't get through it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like, it puts me to sleep.
Considering what we've just watched, that's really saying a lot.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I can try watching it again at some point, but yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just going to leave it right there, just so I have something to put in that slot. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just so I can feel better about having something put in pee vomit. But
yeah,
these are my rankings, people. The Exorcist is the greatest film, not just horror film, but it is the greatest film of all time. The Exorcist Dominion gets a B ranking. I could see putting it at a C, though, but I'm going to leave it at a B. The Exorcist, the beginning, gets a C ranking, as well as The Exorcist III. The 9th configuration gets a D. And The Heretic doesn't even deserve an F. It's just a whopping pile of shit. That's it. It's not an F. It's a whopping pile of shit. So there you go. So we're going to get into some comments and questions. So if anybody has any of those, go ahead and send them over now. But Random Geek, thank you for the $5 donation, brother. I wanted to tackle that, dude. The support always helps, my friend. Always helps. I love it. Thank you so much. JK wants to know if we caught the Cursed Films episode about The Exorcist. Very interesting. You know what? I haven't yet, but I have heard of The Exorcist Cursed. I'm gonna have to check that out, man. I think maybe for this Halloween season, I might have to finally suck it up and get myself a subscription to Shudder, unless anybody wants to share their login with me, which would be super nice. Damn it. Let's see here. Chad says The Omen is the greatest movie of all time. I like The Omen. I do like The Omen 2 better, but I like The Omen.
Yeah, The Omen is great. I enjoy it.
Martin says he remembers what he felt when he was 5 now. FML. I wanted to comment on that, brother. So did you watch The Exorcist when you were 5? What's going on there? I gotta know. JK celebrating 1 month away from being a channel member for 3 years. Thank you so much for your support, JK. We love you, man. So glad to have you as a channel member, dude. You're a total stud. Nate coming in with his $1.05. Thank you so much, Nate. My little trooper man, my 12-year-old army out there, strong as ever. Strong as ever. Let's see here. We'll add this. We'll do this. And then I'll get to that rant here in a second, Chad. I'll get to that here in a second. Now, Chad says it's never hot in there, Nate, that Steven is drinking coffee after all. Steven is drinking coffee. It's iced coffee, Chad! Come on! Damn.
It is iced coffee.
You can hear me chewing ice if you listen. Totally iced coffee, bro. But let's see. DOD says the horror fam needs to get together and party. I've been trying to set that up for years. Before, I think before we were even on the YouTube Baruski. And it will happen, DOD. It's going to happen someday. Probably when I come out east again, because there seems to be more of the horror fam out east. So once my West Coast adventure has concluded, maybe we can make that happen.
You know, I went to a wedding once that rented out a summer camp.
Ooh.
And I just feel like that would be the right thing for a talk horror get together.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Right?
Let's do it.
That would be awesome.
Brian Perry says he's doing a Halloween Havoc marathon. I love it. That is an old WCW pay-per-view.
Nice.
Or set of pay-per-views. And those were always my favorite because Halloween.
Obviously. Yeah.
So, fun times, man. Fun times. Wasn't a Halloween Havoc when Sting and Vampiro fought in a graveyard match? Was that right? Because that was really cool, man. Let me know, Brian. And Diabolical Doctor over here. I don't even know if I should entertain this, but he says Omen over The Exorcist. Oh my God, Briggs. Only you. Only you.
Well, and Chad.
And Chad. Only you and Chad. Oh my God, you're both such jokesters. Let's see here.
Oh, Martin Alexander answered your question about. There we go.
Yeah. Okay. He says, I did watch it when I was 5. Not all of it, but it was the worst for me. My family was watching it in the living room. I peeked. It was the rosary scene, and it scarred me for life.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that is such a tremendous scene.
Ooh.
Such a tremendous scene, brother. Such a tremendous scene. Let's see here. Yes, Halloween Havocs were the best. And Grassman coming in East Coast is the best coast. Oh my God, Grassman, you're out of control. Chad saying the Inferno match where Sting fell off the big screen. I don't even remember that. JK, that's what we need to do. We need to have it in Crystal Lake. We'll have to go to New Jersey.
He doesn't want to.
And then it will be a true horror story. Oh, man. Yes, Random Geeks in. He says, going to a camp and watching/discussing horror movies sounds so awesome. Dude, that's been my fantasy for a long time. I would love to rent us out a camp somewhere. And I was thinking about possibly Babcock in West Virginia because they have those old school cabins.
Yeah,
I always
absolutely.
thought that would be awesome.
Do they have
Yes.
we're gonna have to find something like Babcock that has like a larger like meeting room, right? Because like something like Babcock would be awesome where everybody goes home to their own cabins in the evenings to go to, you know, for anybody who needs to go to bed or whatever, but like you still need a central location where you can watch movies and hang out, and I'm not sure if Babcock has it. We'd have to find out. Let's find out.
Well, I was thinking we would set up a screen outside.
You'd still
Like,
have
get
to
one
have
of those
somewhere where you can do that.
That's true. Well, there's sections in Babcock, like different a different cabin section that looks almost like a little miniature commune where
Oh,
like
okay,
there's
cool.
cabins beside of each other, not separated by the woods. And
Yeah.
I've stayed in
Cool.
those before. That'd be pretty cool to have that set up. Like we just rent out all of them.
Yeah,
in
that'd
that
be
little
awesome.
area.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. Or at Kakapon State Park, it was set up a little more friendly to something like that, and they had bigger cabins.
Cool.
Yes, that'd be awesome. Oh, there we go. The Diabolical Doctor says Babcock was my favorite of the weird and wonderful locations, just in terms of setting.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yes. Yeah, Chad Edmonds, we are not bringing Angela. She does not like campers. Hell no. We ain't messing around there, man. JK says Jennifer Carpenter gave the best performance of a possessed person I've ever seen in The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Yeah, she did awesome, man.
Yeah.
Jennifer Carpenter is an underutilized actress, I believe, because she did great in Quarantine as well.
Agreed. Yeah.
All right, now let's see here. So
you have a rant to give, dude.
I have a rant. And look at this. The Diabolical Doctor saying the question of the night is, Steve.
Uh-oh.
Will Exorcist Believer surpass the Heretic as the worst in the damn Exorcist franchise? That is a good freaking question.
Sounds like a good place to start your rant.
And Chad coming in saying Exorcist Believer can go into pee vomit. Let me tell you something, man. I am so pissed that Jason Blum.
Go full screen and I'm going to mute myself. Go for it, baby.
Let me tell you something. Let me get busy here. You see this fucking mark on my face? It's because of assholes like Jason Blum that gives me stress, okay? They create stress in my life. Let me tell you something. I didn't even want to watch the trailer to Exorcist Believer. That's how fucking pissed I am that something like this could exist. Okay? And I went to the theaters and they played this piece of shit in front of me. And I'm sitting there watching it and I see everything that I knew would be included in a fucking Blumhouse Exorcist movie, okay? Okay, I knew it was there. I could have told you what the fucking cast was going to look like. I could tell you what the story was going to look like. I could tell you what the crew was going to look like. They got that stupid son of a bitch Ellen DeGeneres lookalike, fucking David Gordon Green, coming in to direct an Exorcist movie. Now, this is somebody who fucking completely goddamn fumbled a Halloween trilogy. The first entry in that trilogy was totally mediocre, and the second two were fucking somehow the worst goddamn movies in the whole franchise. And this is the man that you're going to bring in and entrust to a beloved franchise like The Exorcist? Really? Let me tell you something, man. Jason Blum is a fucking shark in the water. He'll do anything for $1. And David Gordon Green is going to be right there like Jonas blowing on his kneecaps, saying, yes, daddy. So that's what we get with Exorcist Believer. And I'm watching this fucking trailer. Everything's coming to fruition. Exactly. Everything's unfolding like I knew it would unfold. The cast looks exactly what the hell I thought the cast would look like. The crew looks... goddamn, I learned nothing from the trailer except that this movie is called The Exorcist Believer, and there's not a fucking exorcist in the goddamn trailer. Where the fuck is he? What are you going to do? How are you going to have an exorcist movie without a fucking exorcist? That makes no sense, Jason Blum. Put on your thinking cap, you dunce motherfucker, and tell me, where is this movie going? Because I still don't know, other than they fucking dug up Ellen Burstyn's decrepit ass and brought her back. I feel betrayed by her. Now, look, I love Ellen Burstyn. I love her to death. I love her in The Exorcist. She's a great actress, phenomenal actress. Absolutely phenomenal in the original Exorcist. She begged for that part in the movie. She got it, and she delivered, baby. And in Requiem for a Dream, she knocks that out of the park too. But just like Jamie Lee Curtis, man, I would hate to know how much money they had to offer these old-ass women to bring them back. I mean, Jesus Christ. She looks like she could barely fucking, like she's held up by popsicle sticks. She's so old in this goddamn thing, but there she is. And here they are. They're going to cash in because they're going to jerk us fans off with fucking fan service and not give us an actual story. Instead, we're going to get shit that's made up from all of the other entries in the fucking franchise just to make us feel our warm and fuzzies at night when we go to sleep, okay? That doesn't cut it for me. Jason Blum's a piece of shit. David Gordon Green is a piece of shit, and now we're going to be stuck eating our shit sandwich because these two still exist and they have the money to buy these properties. So here we go. We're going to see The Exorcist Believer, and I don't even know. I want to say that I've seen an Exorcist film in theaters. I want to be able to claim that. And my option is The Exorcist Believer. So I'm fucked. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. Maybe that'll be a goal for at some point in the future, you know. If you all want to see it, and then I'll come on here and bitch about it because I know that's exactly what's going to happen. Because go figure, it's a Blumhouse production, and that's their calling card for me. That's their MO. All their movies suck balls. Well, that looks like that's going to be my future. And then there's my rant about it. I mean, this is what we get. This is what we get. This is what we get. Exorcist Believer. It looks exact. The fucking poster's black and white. Think about that shit. They took the poster is a steal from the damn movie, just transformed into black and white because they think that's effective somehow. It's not. It looks like shit. Everything about this movie looks totally low effort. Totally low effort. Okay, welcome back, Anna. Anna the Exorcist. There we go. There was my little rant on the movie.
Yay!
Yeah, I don't even know what I said.
Blumhouse is why we can't have nice things.
I feel like Pazuzu possessed me during that monologue there, but
yeah.
But it is. It's. I knew exactly. I knew exactly what that movie was going to look like before they released anything for it. I tried to avoid the trailer at all costs, but I couldn't. And then it just unfolded exactly how I thought that would look. Exactly how I thought that would look.
They've shown the trailer in front of every horror film we've seen for the last 2 months. So yeah, they've hammered us with it. It was unavoidable. But
well, they have in a way, but also notice that they know that this is going to be bad because they haven't even. It's just a pure cash in. Like they are not. This shit is going to be like the fucking Firestarter remake.
Ouch. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. Like it's just that's where we're at currently. I feel like this is everything ebbs and flows. We go in kind of weird. We're just in a weird place with horror right now. I feel like.
Well, let me put it this way. I can tell you why this is nothing more than a cash in. Nothing more than a cash in. I'm going to put it to you people as simply as I can. I live in fucking Hollywood right now. I live in Hollywood. And I haven't seen a single Exorcist poster, a single Exorcist Believer billboard. I haven't seen any of that. Just like you didn't know the fucking Firestarter remake was coming because there were no post bill. You didn't know.
Yeah. But
you know what I have seen? Fucking AHS Emma Roberts posters.
Everywhere. Yeah. Yeah.
That's how much of a cash in this is going to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They're not even promoting it. They know it's going to be a horrible ass movie. They're not even dropping. They're relying only on the name. That is it. They're not even marketing it. It's just going to make money off of a few gullible people, maybe myself included. I don't know. But
I'm with Briggs, but please don't make me give this guy my money. Like, please. I'm so sick of giving this guy my money. Like,
I don't want to. You know, it may, you know, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard when, like, this is what I do. But then there's things that come out and I'm like, man, I won't sacrifice my integrity to see that. But also, this is what I do. And I know I have to see it at some point. It's like, but I want to pirate it. I don't want to give this son of a bitch money in any way.
Well, you see, Briggs's idea was buy a ticket for something else and sneak in to see it. I'm like, go support a filmmaker we like, but just
we could do that. Yeah,
we could totally
let's do that. We'll buy a ticket and then
Briggs
just
coming in with a good idea.
Yes, there you go, Briggs. That's some good thinking, dude. You got a good thinker on your head, bro.
Right.
Yeah, Random Geek saying that's probably the most impassioned I've ever heard someone be about horror movies beside the killer in the last few Scream movies. Well, let me tell you something, man. Scary movies don't make psychos, Random Geek. They just make psychos more creative, bro. Hey, let me tell you something, Nate. This is not an R-rated. This is family friendly at its finest. Anybody could tune into this stream at any time, and they'd be more than welcome. They'd be,
You know what? JK is not wrong. They will probably, someone near us will screen the original Exorcist for the 50th anniversary.
Yes, and I will be there.
If they do I saw the re-release. I saw it when it was re-released, and it was amazing. Like, what a great experience! We have to make that happen for you for sure.
Yes, absolutely. Because there are some horror events I'm going to attend while we're out here. I was going to attend possibly the LA Horror Con this weekend, but I don't think that's going to happen with our illnesses.
Yeah.
Sorry. And we're going to give Chad Edmonds his little rant here too, because he's going in. I did it. I'm going to share it with Chad. He's the one who's responsible for me getting my little rant in anyway. He hit that goal. So let's see what Chad says. He says, Exorcist the Believer is herpes-infested rat shit flavored with vomit-inducing 4-year-old curdled milk. It's a grand fuck-up made by 2 rejected sperm cells that grew up to be complete fucking moron douches. Amen. Amen, Chad. Let's hear it for Chad. Get those damn devil hordes up in the chat. Chad knows what's going on. I love him. He's got my back. I'm telling you what, Chad. Hey, Chad, I've demanded it for years. I want to fight Jason Blum in a cage, in a ring, whatever it takes. But I'll tell you what, we could make it a tag team match.
Cage match.
Me and Chad versus Jason Blum and David Gordon Green.
Yep.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it, Chad. I'm telling you, we could handle business, Chad. It could be us, bro.
So JP is asking about HorrorCon. Yeah, HorrorCon LA is this coming weekend. You know it. We know it. And we went and got sick. So it's a sign.
We did go and get sick.
Yeah.
It is a sign.
No, I mean, it was kind of a debate. They had way better guests last year than they're having this year, but we wanted to go anyways. We thought it would be good for the channel, and then we got sick. So
yeah, I don't know what got us sick, or I'm not even sure. Like, I don't know, but I'm having a flare up on my damn lip, clearly because something's going on with me, and like, I mean, I don't even know what type of sickness I have. It's like super weird. Like, one minute I'll be hot, then the next minute I'll be cold, or one day I'll be hot, the next day I'll be cold. Super fatigued at times, like sometimes all over as if I need a nap, and then sometimes it'll be like, damn, my legs, like just feel like I've been playing basketball or something.
Yeah, he's asking if we have COVID. We don't know. We haven't tested, but I've been considering it. I mean, we may have to test. Yeah, it sucks. So
I'm down with the sickness. Thank you, DOD. Hell yeah.
Down with the sickness. We were in massive crowds of people last weekend. We went to the Miramar Air Show. That's right, folks.
Yeah.
Miramar,
where Top Gun was filmed.
So,
yes.
It was epic and super patriotic. it was pretty badass. But we were in massive crowds of people. So it's entirely possible we have COVID or anything else. Yeah. Thank you, JP. It's sexually transmitted. The cold sore is just it's just a flare up. But you can get them. I mean, we know what the base infection is there, but obviously it spikes up whenever you get sick from anything after that. So it sucks.
Yeah, come on, JP. The true story is I loved a woman who wasn't clean at one time, and
gross.
No, I've gotten cold sores since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So they happen very rare, but they do suck. And I'm not going to kiss Anna or anything like that while I have it. So suckage, major suckage. J-Dubs wants to know, have you guys watched Talk to Me? What is that? Are you talking about Talk Dirty to Me, the Danielle Harris and Scout Taylor Compton podcast? Or is there something else called Talk to Me?
We must know.
Chad Edmonds says, I trained in Taz and Tommy Dreamer's House of Hardcore to be a wrestler. Are you serious? Because that's badass. And I couldn't imagine. I know Tommy Dreamer is a sweetheart, but I couldn't imagine how hardcore Taz would be. I imagine he's going to keep your ass in line, dude. That's almost like some Hart Foundation shit. Like Stu Hart's Dungeon, man. But that's super cool, man. If so, I loved ECW back in the day. Loved it. Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. So, Martin is saying, Talk to Me is so good. We're missing out on something here, babe.
We'll have to check it out.
And
we'll have to look for it.
Yeah. I did want to show this to Chad, though, because he keeps talking about old Pazuzu. I just had to show you this, man. That is the statue that lives behind me. Trying to get it to focus.
Tuck down.
Oh my God.
Get your face out of there.
Yeah. Is it focusing?
No, you know what? It focused a little better when you had it a little further back earlier. Oddly enough.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. That's my Pazuzu, man. Yeah. He's my buddy. That's my Pazuzu statue. He lives right here behind me beside of a possessed Reagan figure that I have. Let's see here. Damn, J-Dubs is saying Talk to Me is the best horror movie I've seen in years. Where are you guys watching this? Martin says it's a movie about this evil cursed hand that you hold on to and say, talk to me, and get to talk to a dead soul that is in hell or stuck in purgatory. It's very good. Watch it. Damn, it sounds unique. Where are you guys watching this, man? I need to know. And Chad says, yeah, that's true. Try to get in ECW when it was around. They told me I needed to gain weight at the time because Spike Dudley was bigger than me. Oh my God. Dude, yeah, that's not good, bro. You would have been tormented. That's we see what happened to Spike. He certainly wasn't the big dick Dudley of the group. JP says he fell asleep during Talk to Me.
Uh-oh.
Damn. Uh-oh. Shots fired right there. But okay, my friends. Once I hear where you guys are watching this, I'm going to hop off here because my stomach's growling. And that's not good for a sickly boy.
I've melted. I've hit the wall. can't even pay attention anymore, let alone do any actual talking.
JP is saying it was not good. Talk to Me was not good. Brian is saying he's watching Halloween Havoc, which is his movie marathon. Hell yeah.
Speaking of movie marathons.
Speaking of, we are going to have a special stream this Sunday because it is October 1st and we are going to go over our 31 days of Halloween picks for the year. So if you want to watch the movies we're watching for 31 days in a row throughout the month of October, you can. We are going to release what is making our 31 days of Halloween list this Sunday. Special stream.
And
yep,
we will be releasing new special edition Halloween 2023 Talk Horror merchandise.
Yes. New
that
Talk
also
Horror
happens
merch
on Sunday.
Talk Horror merch is going to be dropping this Sunday, October 1st. Brand new limited edition Talk Horror merch. And hopefully we've ordered samples. Hopefully they'll be here in time for that stream. If not, we'll be showing them up on the screen either way. But yeah, and Chad's coming in. He's saying Pumpkinhead Marathon this weekend for him.
Nice.
Actually, that may make my Halloween 31 Days of Halloween list this year.
That'd be cool.
It's been a hot minute since I've watched old Punkyhead. And you have a good night, Chad. Take care of yourself,
Chad.
brother man. Thank you so much for the support. So another thing I wanted to throw out is, in addition to an extra stream you're getting this week, tomorrow another vid is going to drop.
Yay!
So it's going to be a 10 Things You Didn't Know video, so everyone stay tuned for that. Speaking of which, whom has watched my new Jeepers Creepers video, and what did you think?
I watched it.
Gotta know. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And Nate is saying he doesn't believe we're sick because we lie about it being hot, and he is suspicious of me. Nate, I'm sick. God, leave me alone. I'm going to die over here. I'm going to perish on this stream one of these days, and you're going to feel bad, Nate.
You will perish in flames.
I will perish in flames. Oh my God. Yes. Chad is awesome, man. Hell yeah. But yeah, want to know who watched? Oh, JK says he watched my new Jeepers Creepers video. What did you think, brother man?
It's because JK is awesome.
JP says he loved the Jeepers video. Martin says he watched it and liked it. He supports me and the Creeper. Hell yeah.
Brian Perry said he watched it too.
Yeah, I gotta know what you think, BP. Gotta know, brother. DOD, what'd you think? Samuel Stokes says Jeepers Creepers video was very good. Thanks, man.
Yay,
hell yeah! I feel like it's a movie that doesn't get the recognition that it deserves. JK says it was really great. Hell yeah! Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, man. Thank you. I'm enjoying the scariest moments videos that I do. They're fun, and I get to share my feelings with you guys and gals, and my critiques as to why I think those scenes are the scariest, J-Dub, great video like always. Thank you.
Yawned on the live stream. I'm so sorry. I really am not feeling well.
Ron Perry says I love the video. Yeah. All right, my friends.
Sorry.
I wanted to get that out there. Please, like I said, special edition stream coming this Sunday. Be prepared for it. We're going to throw 31 horror movies at you to watch for the Halloween season.
Mm-hmm.
So please be in for that. But we're going to hop off of here. I'm not feeling that well either. Super hungry. So, all right, my friends, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for the support, being here with us. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope my rankings were fun, and some of you could agree with those. All right, my friends, until next time, look horror.
Listen horror. Talk
horror. All right, my friends, we love you all. Thank you so much.
Love you
Take care of
guys.
yourselves. We'll see you Sunday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard, 8 p.m. Eastern. Be there or be square, my friends.
Yay.
Good night, everybody.
Night, everybody.